in Abuja. I'm Hawa Salihu Adama. Our starting point this Thursday is security. In its effort to tackle security threats in the nation's maritime domain, the Nigerian Navy has rescued 3 oil expatriates abducted by sea pirates on the 2nd of January this year. The flag officer commanding Central Naval Command, Rear Admiral Saidu Garba, announced this to newsmen in Warri, Delta State, noting that the criminals attacked the vessel conveying the expatriates in the Niger Delta region, leading to the death of some naval personnel and assailants. Following intelligence reports, the Nigerian Navy, in a rapid combined counter-operation in collaboration with land and sea components, operation in Delta Safe and other security agencies, commenced wrecking of the area.
20, in a surgical operation, the Nigerian Navy team rescued all abducted expatriates comprising 2 Russians and 1 Indian. Also, one of the assailants was apprehended with his weapon and the boat that was used to convey the victims, while other members of the group fled into a nearby creek with bullet injuries. I wish to use this opportunity to warn all criminals operating in the Niger Delta that the Nigerian Navy is poised to rid the region of all forms of illegality. I will not relent until the perpetrators of this dastardly act are brought to book.
Still on security, men of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Kogi State Command, have apprehended 30 trucks conveying coal illegally mined in Ankpa local government area of the state. Ajibola Christopher reports that the state commandant of the Corps says the illegal miners will be prosecuted.
The 30 trucks conveying coal from Ankpa local government were intercepted by the men of the Corps at Ganaja's Junction in Lokoja. Speaking to newsmen, the commandant of the Corps, Kogi State Command, Peter Samuel Megiri, says since 2007, the illegal miners have refused to pay royalties to the federal government, hence the impoundment and arrest of the trucks.
Based on a directive from the Office of the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, giving the Corps the opportunity to arrest all these trucks, so that because they have failed to pay royalty, that is the company that own them, have failed to pay royalty to government, and therefore the government is asking us to recover the royalty for them.
The commandant noted that the enforcement continues and encouraged the host communities to report activities of illegal miners with a view to bringing sanity to the sector. He emphasized that those arrested will be charged to court. In Lokoja, Ajibola Christopher, NTA News.
To aviation matters now, normal flight operations are being observed at the Sam Mbakwe International Airport, Owerri, despite the hazy weather condition being experienced in some of the nation's airports. Chukwu, who monitored the situation, now reports.
The cancellation of flights are on the increase in most airports across the country due to bad weather conditions. But the situation is different at the Sam Mbakwe Airport, Imo State. A visit to the airport, which now services travelers from Imo, Enugu and other states within the southeast and south-south zones due to the closure of the Kanibem International Airport, Enugu, shows that normal flight operations are being observed. While the Sam Mbakwe Airport is now witnessing increase in passenger traffic, available information shows that not less than 10 local flight operations take place daily. An official of the airport who spoke to NTA News Group said sometimes flights are even diverted from Benin, Asaba, Calabar and Uyo Airport to the Sam Mbakwe Airport due to bad weather conditions.
Owerri has been favorable to other flight operations. Compared to others, the weather over here has been so nice and so good for flight operations. And then the visibility has been so good.
Been flying from here since 2003, effectively, and that's what we have, and we are happy.
From strength to strength. The flights are increasing.
Others, however, called for extension of time to allow flights land and take off beyond 6 p.m. daily and appeal to the federal government to improve on facilities at the airport. In Owerri, Chukwu, NTA News.
Now, The weather generally appears to be brighter today, though the forecast from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency predicted a sunny and hazy condition over some parts of the northeast region and visibility of 2,000 meters over the north central, while moderate dust haze is expected during the afternoon and evening hours in the south. Now, that is substantially the weather focus, but joining me live via telephone from Lagos to speak on compliance by airline operators to directives by regulatory agencies on safety measures is the Director, Consumer Protection, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Adamu Ahmed Abdullahi. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Okay, what is the current flight situation in Lagos and across the country?
As you rightly pointed out, based on the weather report from NIMET, the conditions today are much more favorable than they have been over the past 1 week or so. And visibility being 2,000 meters is good for aviation, and planes have been taking off and landing in all parts of the country without problems today.
That's sharing news. Anyway, whenever there are such delays due to circumstances beyond the control of airlines, what sort of compensations are passengers entitled to?
These things are called force majeure in aviation. Force majeure are when things happen that are beyond the control of the airlines, and weather is certainly one of those. So when weather is involved, the best airlines can do is to reassure passengers that that flight will leave, keep them informed of the progress of their flights, and wait, because when nature takes over, we don't have a choice. We have to have comfort anymore, and safety is involved in this. When safety is involved, consumer protection takes the back seat, as I always mention. So therefore, we can only appeal to passengers to, as much as possible, make sure that they behave themselves as they wait for their flights. No airline wants its aircraft on ground, because aircraft on ground don't generate money. It's only when they fly that money is made by the airlines. So no airline will keep you on ground just for the fun of it. So safety first.
Okay, aside appealing to passengers to behave themselves, knowing the conditions of some of our airports, I was just wondering, because across the world, some incentives could be put in place to compensate passengers. I'm just wondering, considering the situation in some of our airports, aside appeal, what do you offer passengers that have to wait for long hours?
The airlines, according to regulations, are not really obliged or forced into giving any form of compensation when such events occur. We only encourage them carry passengers along, as I said earlier, as well as give some form of refreshment. When they need water, they need confectionery, tea, and things like that, so that they will keep life going as they wait for their flights. The airlines are facing a lot of challenges in themselves. As you can see, we have had of the past 2-3 days, both Air France and BA have not been landing in Lagos. One goes to Accra, the other one to Cotonou, at additional cost to the airline, because it takes more fuel to go to Accra and come back. They also have to put these passengers in a hotel in Accra, and those waiting for the flight in Lagos have to also be put in hotel, cost for crew and things like that. So we generally believe that when safety is involved, we don't talk of compensations. Government is doing its very best. What led to the problem in Lagos really is an upgrade that the Airspace Management Agency is trying to do to Cat 3. Cat 3 in Abuja and Lagos will now result into zero visibility landings, so that however adverse weather is, the aircraft can still land due to the instrument landing system islands that we would now have when this equipment really come on stream. And we're looking at that possibility very, very soon. Most probably before the end of this month, we'll have that. So by this time next year, we won't face these problems again. So we once again appeal for calm and appeal that people should please, especially passengers, understand with us and give us that benefit of the doubt. We are making sure that aviation is going to be better for everybody in due course.
Would that be your final word to air passengers across Nigeria?
Yes, that would be my final word. Patience, and please persevere. You'll go to your destination in the shortest possible time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Malam Adamu Ahmed Abdullahi. And still on aviation, let's now take the weather as it's affecting flight schedule in Maiduguri. I understand Naomi will give us details now. Okay, Naomi is not ready for us. Meanwhile, Funke is standing by in Ibadan for me, but before then, original efforts to match federal government security operations and ensure safe communities in the southwestern part of the country, Operation Amotekun has been launched in Oyo State, a partnership among the 5 states of the region. The event gathered delegates representing different local security groups, pan-Yoruba groups, as well as executives from all over the state. Let's now join Funke in Ibadan, who will now give me details of the newly launched operation. Hello, Funke.
Hello, Hawa. Thank you for joining us in Ibadan. There is a consensus that the security challenges facing the country has become overwhelming to government. Being chief security officers in their various states, governors of the Southwest in their meetings came up with the idea of a joint security outfit to safeguard the zone and rid the region of crimes and criminalities. Of course, the Southwest has had its fair share of crimes, talking about kidnappings, armed robbery, and all sorts. And this is what culminated in today's launch of Operation Amotekun. Operation Amotekun was today attended by governors from across the Southwest. Talking about Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State, who is also the chairman of the Western Nigeria Governors Forum, Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, and host Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State. Osun and Ogun State governors were represented by their deputies, while the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu was absent from the launch. He was said to have missed his flight to Ibadan.
Thank you very much, Funke. I'm just wondering, we seem to have several security measures being put in place. What is unique about this Operation Amotekun?
State contributing 33 of the vehicles that were launched today.
What is unique about this security architecture?
Okay, that's very good. The unique thing about the security architecture is that those who are supposed to be operatives are drawn from groups of hunters, vigilante members, members of the Odua People's Congress, and of course, men of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. You will agree that they were all working on their own, but from now, they will be working in concert to combat security in the Southwest.
Okay, Funke, aside collaboration, I'm just wondering, what should we expect?
Yes, in fact, people from the Southwest are very expectant. They are very optimistic about this collaboration. If you see the crowd of those who were there at the launch today, you will agree with me that members, everybody in the Southwest think they want to sleep with their 2 eyes closed. And so they are expecting that with the collaboration from these various security outfits, the Southwest will be a safer place to stay.
Thank you very much, Funke. We truly appreciate your contribution this afternoon. That was Funke Ibidamito reporting on the recently launched Operation Amotekun in Ibadan. Moving on, the current crisis between the United States and Iran has been described as a case of balance of power between the two countries. Guest on NTA's program, Good Morning Nigeria, who made the remark, insist on peace rather than war in the interest of citizens of both countries and the world at large. Alika Okbanachi Arua completes the report.
The conflict between US and Iran has been on for a long time. But in the last few weeks, the crisis has become worrisome to countries across the world, as many believe this could lead to extreme turbulence in the Gulf region. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria expressed concerns over an impending cyber war and its implication for global economic stability.
America has always tried as much as it can to have a very dominant influence in the Middle East, just as they have in other parts of the world, including, of course, even in the continent of Africa where we belong. But then, they do not want this rivalry between Iran and the United States of America. They want to put Iran in the position that they can always get what they want from the Middle East.
There are 5 determinant matters. Number 1 is the issue of economy. Number 2 is the issue of security or military armament. Number 3 is the issue of ideological alignment.
They also urge world leaders to intervene so as to resolve the crisis between the two countries before it gets out of hand.
The issues have gotten as deep as they could go between Iran and the United States. It is like they have come very close, but I think for some reasons common sense had prevailed and they have pulled back a little bit.
America should consider reopening the cancelled nuclear deal with Iran.
They further stressed the need for the democratization of the United Nations to reduce the concentration of power in the hands of a few. In Abuja, Alika Opanachi, Arwa, NT News.
Meanwhile, reactions have continued to trail the protests by members of the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria, popularly known as Shiites, which took place in Abuja following the assassination of the Iranian military general Qasem Soleimani. Hakimat Aliu Onrovin put together the reactions.
The media has been awash with the ongoing clash between Iran and United States of America, which involved the killing of Iranian military top general Qasem Soleimani. Members of the proscribed Islamic Movement of Nigeria, IMN, on the issue took to the street in Abuja to express displeasure. To this, Nigerians have reacted.
We should just mind what is bothering us. People protest, they don't even know who died. And they don't even know the politics behind it.
While some have condemned the protest, saying it is unwarranted, some think otherwise.
So protect them, let them demonstrate, because highest 2 hours, 3 hours, they will quit the street and go back.
Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
And reactions have continued to also trail the successful separation of the conjoined twins at the National Hospital, Abuja. Aisha Ubali is standing by to bring us an update on the surgery and what this signifies for medical competencies and tourism in Nigeria. Hello, Aisha.
Thank you, Hawa. We're here at the National Hospital, precisely at the trauma center where the chairperson, board of management of National Hospital, retired Honorable Patricia Ete, just concluded a press briefing with health journalists. And for her and the management of the hospital is just a formal way of telling baby mercy and goodness bye-bye and farewell after saying 17 months in this hospital. Just to tell you a bit about baby goodness and mercy, they were the conjoined twins that were successfully separated. And looking at the organs they shared, the internal organs they shared, medical experts said this process or exercise was really a delicate one. But it wouldn't have been successful if we didn't have a specialized team, medical team, who carried out this operation. And with me is the lead surgeon, Professor Emmanuel Ame, who will tell us more about the surgery. Good afternoon, sir. Congratulations once again from us, from Nigerians, for the successful separation of those beautiful twins. Now, let me just ask, how do we consolidate on the success?
I think the first thing I want to say, so I have with me here my colleague, Dr. Sazwa. She was the lead analyst, which is a key part of the work that we did. I think going forward to consolidate on what we have done, it's because some of the challenges we face in most of our hospitals across the country is the fact that many times some of the equipment we need are either not there or are not complete. Some of the materials may also be a challenge. So I think we need to get that. If we have the right equipment, the right materials, and a little bit the working environment being much more improved beyond what we presently have, I think we'll be able to do a lot more than we were able to achieve with these twins.
Okay. Secondly, I know this is not the first attempt for this hospital. It has been attempted before, and this is the very first successful one. Now, I want to ask, you were not the only person, you were the lead person. The surgeons were not the only ones that were formed part of this team. You had other specialists. Can you just give us a breakdown? Who made up your team?
Yes, you are correct. We had a large team made up of several specialties and support staff. From the beginning, mainly was our neonatal nurses in the neonatal unit started the care, along with our neonatologists, our pediatricians who are specialized in the care of newborns. And we have our imaging scientists, the imaging experts, the radiologists who were able to help us to determine exactly what organs they shed. We had the laboratory people who also helped us through all the laboratory tests that we needed to do. And of course, our anesthetists who took care of the anesthesia. For the surgical team itself, we had 3 different teams of surgeons. We had the pediatric surgeons. I'm one of the pediatric surgeons. We had the plastic surgeons and the cardiac surgeons. And we had our pharmacists, because the drugs that we needed, some of them were not routinely available drugs, so they helped significantly. As physiotherapists, after the separation was done, because they were in abnormal position, they needed to help.
Okay. So can you just tell us the teamwork? How did this really make the whole process seamless? And how will it create more harmony among health workers?
So the team, we really worked very well as a team. As you may know, always when you have a large team of people working together, it's always a challenge. However, we were able to manage that. And I think that the way we worked very well together across all specialties, nurses, doctors, laboratory people, so all the usual differences we have in the healthcare team was not there. We worked very well together.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Hawa, is there any question you want me to ask Prof before I dismiss him?
Sure, Aisha. I heard you earlier saying that the surgeon that that took care of the twins was about saying bye-bye to them. And I'm just wondering, what is in place for follow-up, a kind of a follow-up routine for these twins now? Medical checkup, I mean.
Okay. So I don't know if you could answer to that. How would you intend to monitor and follow up with these twins after now?
The goodness and mercy really require significant follow-up right into maybe their early adulthood. So the hospital, we've taken it up upon ourselves to follow them up. We'll see them from time to time. In the hospital, our social welfare staff will also be visiting them in their home from time to time to make sure they are doing well, they are growing well.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, Hawa, I think it was a story that started with uncertainty, but we are thankful, glory be to God, it ended successfully. It's back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Aisha, for that. It's really a big story and a happy one for Nigerians. Still staying with the health sector, the reported increase in rates of snake bites in some parts of the country are raising public concerns over the availability and affordability of anti-snake venom in health facilities across Nigeria. Chimdinma Ndubisi reports on the imperatives for preventive and readily available curative measures for snake bites.
Hot and rainy seasons. These are the peak of snake bites in Nigeria, a country with poisonous species of snakes such as cobra, puff adder, and carpet viper. It is on record that about 10,000 to 15,000 snake bite cases are reported annually, with high prevalence in the northeast and north central. 12.5% of them result in death when poorly managed. A case at hand is the recently recorded death of a pregnant woman in Kaduna. Nigeria, in collaboration with Equitab in the United Kingdom and a scientific center in Costa Rica, produces anti-snake venoms. The question many might want to ask is, are these anti-snake venoms readily available and in sufficient quantities in hospitals?
In the Federal Ministry of Health, we have anti-venom in stock, though inadequate. About 2 weeks ago, a memo was sent to the Honorable Minister for approval to distribute antivenom to our various treatment centers and health facilities across the geopolitical zones. It's not only the federal government that has the statutory role of providing it. It behoves on all the states to also put snakebite budget into their budgeting.
University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, Gwagwalada, is one of the designated treatment centers.
We just acquire around October, November, enough stock, 50 vials and 20 ampoules. The monovalent and ampoule is specifically made for that carpet viper snake species. And an ampoule is enough for the treatments. Polyvalent is meant for the all the dangerous snakes. It takes a maximum of two vials to get it cured completely. In 30 minutes, the patient gets up and goes. But because of its efficacy, potency, it is very, very expensive. We sell a vial for 36,000 naira.
36,000 naira for a vial? Perhaps the high cost may not be far away from why some would opt for treatment outside orthodox, as been reported by health professionals. But be that as it may, experts are saying that under no circumstance should one go the unorthodox way, as there are grievous consequences.
Once you are bitten by a snake, wash the area, with just water. Don't tie tourniquet. Go to a center where they have a facility to treat snake bite. Don't try to go and look for a black stone.
Prevention, they say, is better than cure. The nation has now come up with anti-snake venom vaccine of plant origin, which is awaiting the clinical trial. Scientists from the University of Jos discovered and are developing this vaccine that is raising hope for sufficiency, availability, and accessibility, as plans are on the way for local manufacturing of the vaccine. Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
And this is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We have more reports for you after these messages.
They swore an oath to serve our fatherland and defend the people. They traded their freedom, comfortable homes and mortgaged their lives on the battleground for our unity and peaceful living. These are the great, fearless, loyal and committed Nigerian armed forces who risked their lives courageously to safeguard our borders. But in the line of duty, many never returned. Nigerians, arise, let's celebrate our fallen heroes. Put on the remembrance emblem with pride to support the incapacitated and families of our fallen heroes.
It is indeed befitting to honor the memory of the gallant hearts of the men who paid the supreme sacrifice to keep the country united.
President Muhammadu Buhari enjoins all ministries, parastatals, religious and corporate bodies to donate generously to the Emblem Appeal Launch. Send your donations to these accounts. Account name, Emblem Appeal Launch. Account number 393-200-7526. EcoBank Nigeria PLC.
My name is Balaunti. I'm the Managing Director of Petroleum Product Marketing Company, a subsidiary of NNPC. There are significant price discrepancy between Nigeria and its neighbors across Africa. There's a discrepancy of between 150 to 250 naira. That creates an incentive for arbitrage, whereby smuggling triumphed by taking petroleum products across the neighbors so that they can be sold at higher price. While the smugglers are making the money, Nigeria is paying for it. And that payment is distorting everything that we do in terms of planning, in terms of our ability to fund, and thereby taking money that is meant for development. The introduction of this Operation White will have a reduction of close to 6 million liters on a daily basis, which if you take an average of 150, translates to a saving of over 1 billion naira every day. That is the benefit of Operation White, and we have started seeing the great benefit.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, Ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online, or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
NTA Network at 4 p.m. this Saturday. The Premier League, brought to you by Coca-Cola and Access Bank.
Thanks for rejoining us. The Federal Ministry of Water Resources has rolled out strategies to strengthen and ensure effective management of public irrigation and drainage schemes for the country to sustain its drive towards agricultural development and food sufficiency. This is part of deliberations of stakeholders during a workshop in Kefi. Suraj Abdullahi completes the report.
Access to irrigation and drainage services are key to ensuring effective and efficient agriculture across the globe. To this end, Department of Irrigation and Drainage, Federal Ministry of Water Resources, engage critical stakeholders on the need for collaborative efforts for effective service delivery in the sector, and to also cross-fertilize ideas on how best irrigation facilities can be utilized to complement federal government's drive at ensuring food sufficiency in the country.
This government has given its best to make sure those irrigation projects that have started a long time are completed, and then the low-hanging fruit projects are also completed, so that farmers can come in, they can utilize them. There will be food, there will be employment.
Participants said the workshop affords them ample opportunity for more information on their role in supporting government policy.
Mr. President is taking a bold step towards improving irrigation. All over the world, the practice now is what we call participatory irrigation management.
Steps are being taken to expand our farm.
The conference lasts 2 days. From Kefi, Suraj Abdullahi, NTA News.
And we are not done with the aviation sector and weather, as we now join Naomi in our Maiduguri Network Center for details and other reports.
Hello and welcome to Maiduguri. Despite low visibility experienced in the last 1 week in most parts of the country as a result of a renewed onslaught of the Harmattan dust, Maiduguri International Airport did not experience disruption of flights schedule. Rebecca Bature reports on the situation at the Maiduguri International Airport.
Borno State, on the fringes of Sahara Desert, feels a higher impact of the Harmattan pool. Winds blowing from the Mediterranean. At the peak of the recent Harmattan pool, swing temperatures came down to as low as 9 degrees Celsius. The extreme weather condition mostly prevails at night and in early morning hours, as luck will have it at all commercial airline flights to Maiduguri International Airport do not operate night stop, but afternoon services on time, so most of the dust to clear for improved visibility. This explains the non-disruption of normal flights in Borno. When NTA News visited, the airport passengers were busy collecting flight tickets, while others relaxed in the waiting room, and those on available aircraft on ground prepare for boarding.
For today, approaching Maiduguri, it's okay. It looks fine, yes. And I hope it's going to stay like that for some time, yes.
The flight was delayed due to bad weather condition here in Maiduguri. We had like 2.5 hours delay, but not cancellation.
Right now, the weather has improved within the last few days, and it is business as usual at the Maiduguri International Airport. Significant level of visibility enhances safety in the aviation industry. In Maiduguri, Rebecca Bature, NTA News.
Thank you, Rebecca. As part of his official visit to southern Borno in pursuit of youth and women empowerment programs, the state governor, Professor Babagana Umarazulu, has also inaugurated local government secretariat complex built and equipped by the Borno state government in collaboration with multi-sectoral crisis recovery project. Muhammad Guni reports.
In over 40 years of its existence, Biu Local Government Council, one of the oldest in the state, had operated in a rented edifice. Governor Babagana Umara had, during his visit to the council area in June last year, performed the groundbreaking ceremony for construction of a 40-office edifice, and in 6 months, the project became a reality. While in Biu, the governor also inaugurated the rehabilitated Local Education Authority Office Complex and a model school, performed a groundbreaking ceremony for construction of the Central Mosque, the Emir's Abbot, as well as those of his wife, and inspected construction of 1.5-kilometer township road. During a courtesy visit on the Emir of Biu, Alhaji Umar Mustafa Aliyu, Professor Babagana Umara stressed commitment to, among other things, empower youth and women in the emirate.
There's need for us to keep our youth off the streets.
Deputy Governor Umar Usman Kadafur, as well as the spokesperson of the Emir, Ibrahim Birma, on behalf of the Emir, thanked the governor for the developmental projects in the emirate. They assured the present administration in the state of continued support of the emirate in its quest to reposition the state. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Goni, NTA News.
That's it from Maiduguri. Hawa is back to you in Abuja.
Thank you, Naomi. And moving on, housing as one of the basic human needs is incidentally one of the several key policy areas where the Nigerian government intends to make concrete plans in the next couple of years. The challenge of adequate housing, further compounded by an increasing and equally worrisome housing deficit, is one which the current administration hopes to reverse while implementing some consistent public-private initiatives. Over now to Joseph Johnson, who reviews some of the government's effort while assessing the state of the affairs in the sector.
There is no place like home. Many people say that a lot. But home is a relative term because for some people, it isn't about having a roof over their heads or a place of comfort, but where the night meets them. In Nigeria, a lot of people are said to be like that, even with the seemingly plethora of unoccupied buildings and estates across the country. Affording them is oftentimes the challenge. That is why both the formal and informal sectors have been adopting several approaches towards solving them.
The ongoing National Housing Program, which took off in 2017, is one of such, aimed at reducing the 22 million housing deficit.
Right now, we are in the first phase, which is now completed, fully completed. We have infrastructural services provided, like water, roads, electricity.
Inspection tour of the housing units, ranging between 70 and 90 in 34 out of the 36 states of the Federation, are mostly completed. Ibrahim Ozoko has been following the progress of the first phase of the project with the hope of being a beneficiary.
The houses, the specification were good and the quality is very, very okay. There is a lot of compliance with the local content, and like I said, I'm looking forward to own one of these housing units because I'm a civil servant.
Experts say Nigeria will require a minimum of an additional 2 million housing units per annum for 10 years to bridge the gap. Statistics that Umaru Aliyu disagrees with.
If you tell me that in our localities we have mud houses, and I'll tell you, yes, we have mud houses that are still sustainable, better than what we are having now. So the question of deficit does not arise at all.
While Ibrahim and other interested Nigerians may not need to wait for too long, as President Buhari, in his New Year message, listed 13 housing estates under the National Housing Project among projects to be delivered this year.
Given the increase in the budgetary allocation, many say the sector is in for a good time in 2020 and beyond. Joseph Johnson, NTNews.
Many thanks, Joseph. And Hingino is in our Lagos Network Center with top stories from that zone. Good afternoon to you, Hingino.
Thank you, Hawa, and a warm welcome to Lagos. Lagos State University, Ojo, has been trending on the news since Monday this week, but not for a positive reason. Correspondent who has been monitoring events at the institution reports that despite the stampede that almost disrupted activities at the institution, students are now writing the exams without any hitch. 100-level students of Lagos State University, LASU, going into the exam hall in an orderly manner to write the General Nigerian Studies GNS 102, which was marred on Monday this week as a result of a stampede that affected some students. Contrary to the rowdy nature of the premises on Monday, the situation here is a clear indication that the arrangements made by the school authority by rescheduling the exam to Wednesday and Thursday this week for a smooth process is effective.
Today's exam is okay compared to Monday. It's much more organized and smooth. Everything just went on fine.
This time around, apart from the 500-seater hall initially provided for the exam to accommodate about 2,500 students in 6 batches daily, another hall was made available for further decongestion.
All the lecturers are available. You know, we even have more than enough invigilators now. All the resource persons for GNS are on ground.
Today, they are really cautious of not repeating what happened on Monday.
There is no need for another exams. For those who had written the exams on Monday, we have their results already.
Those who are supposed to be in charge and even the security at alert, everything is in order.
The management urged the students to always be law-abiding in order to avoid problems that could tarnish their image or the school. Now to politics. In its determination to remain the party to beat in Lagos State, the All Progressives Congress APC says it will continue to deliver on its campaign promises and carry along everyone in the state, irrespective of what divide he or she belongs in the scheme of things. This was the message at the special state congress of the party to elect new executive council members whose positions have been vacant due to appointment of occupiers into state cabinet offices. Tunde Saiki has details.
And I will devote myself to the service and well-being of members of the party.
The newly elected state executive council members, Lanre Ogunyemi, the secretary, Olusheye Oladejo, the publicity secretary, and Adeumi Ladigbolu, the assistant legal advisor, taking their oath of office after successfully being declared winners of the election at the delegate congress.
I want to thank all members of our party across the length and breadth of Lagos for coming to affirm us.
3 members of the state executive council of the party were appointed as commissioner and special advisors to the state governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
That goes to show that he is a solid party man.
When you have such people in position, you can be sure of runaway success.
The state party chairman, who used the event to present his 18-month scorecard, said the APC Lagos State will not relent in its determination to continue to be a pacesetter to other states in the country in showcasing how party supremacy can be used to deliver dividends of democracy to its citizenry. The special state congress of the party had in attendance over 1,300 delegates from the 20 local government areas in the state, including party leaders, members of the State House of Assembly, INEC officials from both Abuja and Lagos, and other stakeholders. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. It's back to Hawa in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Many thanks to you, Hingino. And time for another break. Nationwide continues shortly. Do stay.
Not so fast. Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures. Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down. Do you have a job where you're going to? No, but someone is arranging,
Listen, Alinko. Checking out of this country without proper planning means one thing. Unimaginable begin. I've been in the diaspora, but legitimately doing great things at home and abroad. As I've been saying, without the proper footing abroad, the risk is not worth it. Listen, Alinko, it's better to be home than be trapped abroad, or even end up in prison.
Get the latest news and updates from across Nigeria on NTA Nationwide. NTA Nationwide, weekdays by 4 p.m. Get it first, get it fresh.
We have come to the end of another successful year, and we wish to appreciate all those that mean so much to us: our sponsors, our clients, government at all levels, corporate bodies, advertisers, religious bodies, civil society groups, political parties, and above all, you, our esteemed viewer. Together, we made 2019 great. Together, we shall make 2020 even greater. That is why we say, thank you. This is wishing you Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
NTA Network at 4 p.m. this Saturday. The Premier League, brought to you by Coca-Cola and Access Bank.
Welcome back. And next on our lineup is Zenret in Jos with the benefits of the potato value chain. Hello, Zenret. You're on.
And welcome to Jos. 13 people have been reported dead in an attack at Kombun in Mangu local government area of Plateau State. An interview with the police public relations officer indicates that the mayhem by gunmen took place Wednesday night. Binret Silvanus Lot tells us more.
Addressing journalists, the PPRO DSP Matthias Chiopev revealed that aside the dead persons, one other was critically injured and is receiving treatment at the General Hospital, Mangu.
Immediately the command received the information, the Commissioner of Police, Plateau State Command, CP Isaac Akimoede, directed the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Department of Operations, DCP Tafida Aliu Saleh, to lead detectives to the scene of the crime. The Deputy Commissioner of Police is in the place as I speak with you. The directive the Commissioner of Police has given to him is very clear that he should stop the attack, comb the area. If there are suspects, he should arrest so that they will face the full wrath of the law.
Meanwhile, the Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong has condemned in strong terms the killing of innocent persons following the attack by gunmen at Komben village in Kombun district of Mangu. The governor, in a reaction, described the attack as another attempt to puncture the peace that has gradually returned to the state. In a statement by his Director of Press and Publicity, Simon Makut, Governor Lalong, while commiserating with the victims and families of those killed, called for calm, promising that perpetrators of the inhuman act will be brought to book. In Jos, Binret Silvanus Lot, NTA News.
Orphans and widows in some rural communities of Plateau State have benefited from relief packages towards improving their living standard. Ruth Stephen Hoke reports.
Orphans and widows in Kanke and Shandam local government areas benefited from the humanitarian gesture extended to them by a philanthropist. The gifts are expected to cushion their needs. The widows and aged persons, numbering over 300, appreciated the donor and prayed for fruitfulness. Same gesture was extended to Total Women Foundation. 120 orphans drawn from 7 orphanage homes in Jos were hosted to a party by the donor.
Thank you, God bless. Thank you. Smile on either one
person's face or people that can put smiles on their faces. And trust me, what I've been disappointed.
Providing humanitarian services to orphans and widows is his utmost priority. In Jos, Ruth Stephen Hoke, NTA News.
Access to rural infrastructure is central to the provision of employment, wealth creation and food security. This is the focus of a workshop on benefits of potato value chain program in Jos. Ijoma Ozemina has details.
Potato value chain program for farmers was meant to address inadequate supply of seeds, climate change, high cost of production, as well as inadequate funding. More so, the value chain program enhances agricultural productivity and value addition for small and medium-scale farmers in the rural areas.
There are 23 sites in each local government. We are trying 3 species. So far, one has come out as very promising.
For us to appraise or to assess the project after the completion, it showed clearly that there was, the impact was felt, and that was why there was reduction in poverty.
In addition, the comparative advantage of potato production in the state provides better opportunities.
If there's a comparative advantage, it gives you a better window to take advantage of the resources.
The workshop will also enhance capacity development as a component of potato value chain in the agricultural sector. Questions raised by the farmers bordered on recent diseases of potato seeds, coping with potato diseases and pests as a result of modification of the environment. In Jos, Ijoma Ozemina, NTA News.
That's it from Jos. It's back to Hawaii and Abuja for more on Nationwide.
And thank you, Zenret. Moving on. Prospective candidates for the 2020 JAMB examination in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State appear to be grappling with the National Identity Card registration exercise. John Paul Alumona, who witnessed the situation at the NIMC office in Uyo, reports that the students are appealing for a better arrangement that makes the process easier.
National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, operates and regulates matters of national identity in Nigeria with services covering national identification number, NIN enrollment and issuance, national electronic ID card issuance, identity verification, as well as data harmonization and authentication. National identification number, NIN, is a prerequisite for candidates seeking admission into the universities in Nigeria through Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB.
I'm like a bit surprised to hear this because even 2016, I was writing JAMB, they didn't tell me about this.
I'll be writing JAMB this time around, probably will be more than 20,000. Nobody knows. And you're just bringing up the issue of having an ID card, which is space of 1 year.
A lot of people should be working on the system so that at least it will be fast. Because as it is now, the workers are not much and the process is very slow.
The state coordinator of NIMC, Unuyo, Fred Iwok, explained that the commission is working tirelessly to ensure that those who came out for enrollment are captured and issued their national identity number without delay.
In our enrollment process, if you are not up to 16 years, you cannot register in isolation. You have to get either your parent or guardian to provide his or her NIN before you can be captured.
In Uyo, John Paul Alumon, NTA News.
And it's the turn of our Port Harcourt Network Center. Jenny is our guide. Hello, Jenny.
Thank you very much, Hawa. I am sure you are feeling very proud as a Nigerian that we've recorded success in the separation of the conjoined twin in our health sector. Good evening and welcome to Port Harcourt. Judges in Rivers State have been challenged to show more commitment in the administration of justice. Governor Nyesom Wike gave the charge while swearing in 3 judges of the Rivers State High Court and the judge of the Customary Court of Appeal at Government House, Port Harcourt, Ogedi Nyekwere.
The criteria for efficient justice dispensation are hinged on fearlessness, firmness, and steadfastness. These attributes of judges lead to an effective justice system and ultimately the good of society and the state. It has been reaffirmed that the judiciary has the responsibility to correct any arm of government whenever they go wrong. Hence, the need for judges to live up to the challenge of their office.
Also unfortunate that the only way our judiciary want to be independent is when it concerns forms, but they don't want to be independent when it concerns administration of justice.
To the governor, a situation where a judge is also a traditional ruler could be compromising and destructive, therefore no longer acceptable. The occasion was used to announce the legalization of the owner-occupier policy of residential quarters for judges of the judiciary. In Port Harcourt, Ogedinyekwe, NTA News.
And that's it from our Port Harcourt Center. It's now back to you, Hawa, in Abuja.
Thank you, Jenny. And the Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, has directed the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, to immediately implement measures aimed at repositioning the broadcast industry with a view to bringing sanity into the sector. We will bring you details of this in our subsequent bulletin. And that's Nationwide this Thursday. We thank you for being part of it. Good evening.